Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching The Umbrella Academy Season 2, Episode 2, the Frankel footage. I have no idea what that could be, and I am very excited. The first episode of this season was fantastic, and I do not want to wait any longer. But before I do start, a reminder that you can find the unedited version of these reactions on my Patreon along with all my reactions, and you get the unedited versions 2 weeks in advance, and the edited version 1 week in advance. And yes, let us go! Is she not dead? Because I'm going to be very sad if that's the case. I kind of assumed that was too easy for her to die. She's been replaced. She has, hasn't she?
Recovery has been an inspiration to us all.
Of course. Oh my god.
You will be demoted.
Huh.
Due to your
Hmm. Is it Five's old desk? Just to rub it in.
I just told you the world's gonna end in 10 days.
Yeah, well, you're always saying that.
I mean, true, but
I've been right.
Look.
like, I get as well that with Luther, he mucked up last season. Like, I fully and utterly agree with that and accept that he did what he did regarding Vanya because he thought it was the right thing to do. But his thinking it was the right thing to do was skewed with his concern for Allison and his anger that Vanya had hurt Allison, combined with kind of doing what his dad would have done. And he did not make the right choice there. At no point did I think that was the right choice. You know, potentially Vanya might have continued to spiral out of control and there might have been no other choice, but the way in which he did it was wrong and potentially caused what happened. So I can see him thinking, oh, they don't need me, they don't need but because I just make everything worse, but they're still his family, and I hope he's going to kind of ultimately find a way through it to find his family again. Although if he does, he's then going to find that Allison's married, and God.
You're the one who got us stuck here.
Would you rather be dead?
You're the one who brought Vanya. So if there is a doomsday coming, she's probably the cause. And if I was
No.
about it, it sure as hell is not going to be with you.
Okay. Luther, I was trying to be nice. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt about like where your mental state was, and I think it is still there very much. Because like I said as well in the previous reactions, the moon being fake, okay, the moon's not fake, but him needing to go there being fake and all the stuff he's learned, I get why he's struggling, but I need him to snap out of this and stop lashing out at people that don't deserve it. And, you know, maybe Vanya does cause it. I mean, Five can be like, well, actually, I've seen it, and Vanya was very much not causing it. But, I need Luther to kind of accept what he's feeling and how he's feeling it and not just hide from the feelings.
Is everything okay? Yeah.
Does not seem it.
Carl needs a ride home.
She is such a good person. That's why I believe that even with all her memories, which I don't believe she does have at this point, oh god, that she could keep everything intact. That, like, her goodness intact, her powers will not dominate her.
Take my car.
What car?
Oh dear. That's not exactly a subtle way to get the keys. I mean, get in.
Stop being a princess and get in!
Who is this lady? Oh, that was Carl? Oh, is he gonna see Vanya? Yep. And is he gonna think it's suspicious that she doesn't do anything when she sees him because she doesn't remember? God. He really does not need to be dressed up like a milkman. Oh no. Are they outside here? Oh.
Let it go.
I heard her room.
Allison, baby, it's okay.
So does he know about her power?
Fugitives on the run.
Your brother. Come on, he's after. You know who he's after.
I'm not going to kill a man before he's committed a crime.
Yeah, he's got morals.
In fact, your whole is ambidextrous.
Then we'll do both fingers.
How do you get through a day?
Get out. I can do this on my own. Hero, okay?
Because he is an idiot. I'm his loving brother.
Left me to rot.
His wife?
I can't help you. Take a seat.
God, it's so terrible to think that, like, we have come so far in terms of civil rights and everything, but the fact that there's still so far to go is despicable. Oh my goodness. He got caught. Klaus. I love, it's so crazy because, like, this city is so vast that In a city, it's so easy to understand how they would miss each other and not be able to know that they're right around the corner from each other or whatever. And I just love how they keep bumping into each other and they're so close, but yet so far.
Shakespeare had no idea what it was like to be me.
Oh, Klaus.
Till folks find out their true calling.
I love him. I'm scared about him.
I don't even know the guy, just some of the through.
Allison, find Allison.
An enemy of the people!
That's such an open-ended question.
One more muscle I would
I love that they both have the same response. He distracted her while he jumped.
Hazel died to get me this.
Mm-hmm.
Must be the key to stopping Doomsday.
Hazel,
Long story. What's Doomsday? Longer story.
what exactly did he say to you?
Can we see the footage?
Explain. It's not.
Oh, yeah, because he was alive in this time. Don't assume she's an evil enemy. Luther. I know it probably looked weird and suspicious that she like made eye contact with him and then did nothing, because had she got her memory, she would have been like, Luther, or do you feel bad about this at all? This, yeah, that was Vanya, but she was not exactly in control. And you cared about her in that moment after the gunshot. Oh my god.
You know who I am?
What? Of course I know you.
I'm sorry. If anybody.
Don't!
Your family, Luther.
You shouldn't be the one to apologize.
Thank you.
I let you down.
Oh, Luther, thank you.
I did horrible things. Things that I'm not proud of. I just made it all worse.
Oh.
I don't care. If you're hiding out here and don't want to be found, I understand. I just came here to tell you.
Oh. Well, she knows he's at the Carousel Club. Oh my goodness. I'm so proud of Luther. I was all cross with him at the beginning of the episode now. He's kind of had the realization I wanted him to, and... No! Because she doesn't remember anything.
Holding an open black umbrella on a sunny day in Dallas, the exact same moment the president gets shot.
He's...
Doesn't look good, I admit.
Signal for the whole goddamn thing.
Whoa, for 45 years. We don't have the time for this right
I loves.
now.
Like yogurt. I'm stopping them.
Oh,
Okay.
that is a big question.
Pinky swear.
I do want to know more about her history, just who she is as a person. She seems to have quite a messed up backstory like them.
I made it worse.
He's just such a good person.
Why did you say I heard a rumor?
Oh, so he didn't know. He's a hand! Look at his hand! Look at his hand, look at his hand.
And does this prophet have a name?
Here for this.
Don't like what you see.
Oh. It's his house. Violin player. Can you tell that from like the strings or something? I am sensing things here. Loveless marriage. No other choices in life. The last time you played piano was not a good time. Piano? Violin. There's Luther, yeah. Okay. Into the mist, of course. Oh god, don't split up. I'm so stressed. Pogo. Is there a baby Pogo? He's so cute.
It's good to see you.
Okay, well Pogo's running free. Whatever he's up to, I doubt he wanted two people coming sniffing around. Show me your tattoo! Come on, Diego. But don't, yeah. I'll say don't kill him, because then, you know, your life won't happen the way it was going to happen, but maybe that'll be for the best. Oh my god. Oh my god. I would like to officially petition this show to stop ending episodes with characters that I love dearly bleeding out. Just that is something that I would like to petition them for. Oh my god, was that really only one episode? Oh, it was so good. So much happened. So we saw the footage that Hazel slipped into Five's pocket, and it was of their dad at JFK's assassination. Now, who knows what he's up to with that, because he is not a time traveler, but he is a very old alien or something. So he seemed to be raising Pogo, doing experiments on this little chimp that is not yet the Pogo that we knew. It's not yet someone fully sentient or chatting away. He's a baby. So there's a lot there to unpack that I'm sure we will have course this season. Now, I still hate their dad. He's still a terrible person. If I was him, as much as, like, I know at the end of that fight he was like amateur. If I was fighting someone and then they suddenly looked at me and went, "Mum," I mean, I might like knock him over. I mean, I might try and incapacitate him if I thought I was fighting for my life, but I would be a bit like, what the fuck are you talking about? So yeah, I wonder if at any point he remembered this, did this always happen? I don't know, what's words. So yeah, Diego, I love that he was found by Five, and that Five was just like, look, I'm going to muck up all your plans to stop the assassination, but come with me. And they looked at the footage, and I think it's really good that Five is kind of able to get one of them vaguely on side, because obviously Diego, I think, would still go and shoot or cut off, the trigger finger of Lee Harvey Oswald at any point that he got the chance to. Though, you know, maybe if we did incapacitate Oswald, at least then we'd find out if the conspiracy theories were true, if it still happened. I mean, I think it was him, but you know, there are those conspiracy theories out there. And I love that we know now that Diego was never planning on murdering him, even though, like, you could argue that that was like murder baby Hitler, etc. He just wanted to make it so that there was no way he could do the deed, which I think is promising, because it shows you that Diego still has his morals, and the sort of morals that Eudora Patch would have wanted him to have. Now, the woman from the asylum, I need to know more about her. I can't remember her name, which is annoying me, but just who she is and what she's done in her past. I really like her. I enjoy her character a lot. She makes me laugh. I think in a way she's good for Diego, because she's the right level of making fun of him for certain things, but could probably also grow to be quite supportive for him, like he has been with her. And she's clearly got a messed up backstory, a mother that trained her to become like a story that might even mimic theirs to an extent. So I'm intrigued to know more about her, but I need to make sure that, like, I mean, she seemed to say that they locked her up after she saw things, which doesn't suggest he hurt anyone, but like, I just want to, like, confirmation on who she is. But for Diego, he's gonna be fine, because I refuse to accept anything else. Stressed, very stressed with that ending. Yeah, they found that the umbrella manufacturing there was a front for some weird pictures with nuclear explosions in the background and monkeys being grown. What the fuck is their dad up to? What is he up? Like, ugh. I could see him just having his umbrella as, like, advertising his umbrellas. So we will see. I'm sure we'll find out more about that. And I'm so intrigued that the Kennedy assassination is actually linked to things that are happening. So then we can go to Luther and Vanya. And Luther, he's in a very dark place right now. But while I was kind of annoyed at him when he, to Five, was acting as though kind of, oh, you know, like, if Vanya says she's going to cause the apocalypse, I'm so angry at her. But that was just his feeling like guilt that he let her down kind of talking. And so then I think when he saw her, he didn't know what to make do. He didn't know whether his instinct was to run in there and shoot her in the head, or whether it was to run in there and fall to his knees and beg her for forgiveness. And so I think him having the gun as a precaution, fair enough. If she goes to start causing another apocalypse, maybe it's worth it. Or, you know, we could shoot past her head again and distract her. But I think that scene, to me, was my favourite scene in the episode. The scene where seeing Vanya having that moment of, oh my god, you know who I am? Finally, someone has come for me. Someone knows who I am. I matter to someone. I think was really special and important, because we've seen how she's looking at everyone's missing person notices and all these people that are being searched for. None of them are her. No one has responded to the notice. And the idea that someone could see her and recognise her and want to find her would mean a lot. And then what he was saying would really mess you up if you did not have memories. You know, like, oh, I'm really sorry, or, you know, like, knowing that he had a gun with him because she could hear it, and then thinking like, why does he want to break, what if, like, I must have done something terrible, that's why he has a gun, and then him saying, well no, actually, I thought I had to save everyone from you, but really I let you down, you would just be like, you'd feel almost worse than you did before when you didn't know, because you could think that you were just an ordinary person that didn't have any weird messed up past. So I totally understand her impulse to want to go and find him and find out more information. I think it's what anybody would do. And I don't know if I'd necessarily go in the middle of the night, but I feel like she just could not sleep. She had that strange dream in which, you know, she remembered the last time she saw him when she was playing her violin, the calluses on her fingers, and she remembered that he was in pain. So I think that is something that I would immediately want to find him and find out what the hell is going on, who I am. And I'm really intrigued to see where Vanya's going to go with this, because I think being with his family has been a really good stable environment for her, the mum and the kid especially, because, you know, the father is just a dick by the seems of it. I don't know, I mean, I think hopefully she'll be in a slightly better position to control it all, but the moment when her memories come back and her awareness of her abilities comes back, I feel like that could be almost a overwhelming rush of emotion all over again. So I'm hoping that she's going to be kind of having people around her that believe in her, that she will be strong enough to not let it consume her this time. Because Vanya's heart is good, we've always known that. It's just partly because, I mean, very, very largely because of how they were raised. The power is quite overwhelming and leans towards the dark, but she can be stronger than it, and that's what I believe. So for Luther to actually apologise to her meant the world to me, because that's what I've been saying. I don't think I've never thought Luther was a big evil bad man. You know, I knew that it was coming from being scared. It was coming, part of it was coming from his selfish kind of, she hurt Allison, must stop her. But in truth, I think he just was trying to save everybody from Vanya in that moment, and it was not a good thing to do. I didn't like it at the time, but I've always understood that it wasn't him just being horrible. He wasn't doing it because he hated Vanya or anything. And so I really found that moment where he apologised to her and just, you know, said, if you just want to be here and hide from the world, be happy, I want that for you. That meant everything to me. I'm hoping it's going to be the start of Luther snapping out of his spiral and maybe seeking out Five, trying to agree to do more, but I feel like he might still think that he's a useless failure person, and so he might decide to keep living the way he's living, but Vanya's going to go and find him, hopefully. So I'm so intrigued about that, but that scene was my favourite. I don't think I've ever explained that very well, or I've over-explained it, I don't know. Obviously these Swedes, who we now have confirmation are from the Commission, they know about Vanya, they had information about all of them. They know where Allison lives, but they know where Vanya lives, and there are innocent people there. I've definitely noticed a spark between Vanya and the nice lady she lives with. And I mean, maybe the lady's gay, maybe not, but I think, especially throughout history, the expectation on every single person, male or female, was get married, have 2.5 kids, live. You know, that was the Western ideal of what you would do. And so throughout history, everyone did that. You would get married whether you really wanted to or not, to an extent. You kind of, you'd find someone that you liked and maybe you believed it was love, and you'd have kids whether you wanted them or not. And that's what's so important about where we are now in the world. And like, it's not like just this year, you know, it's been for a little while now, but you don't have to have kids if you don't want to. You don't have to get married to the first man that is nice to you. You don't have to kind of settle or do anything like that. And I definitely think that the woman in the house that Vanya lives in, she settled for a kind man with a good job, and they're not happy. And that is probably contributing to him going out drinking. He's not happy. He can sense that his wife's not happy. He did seem to be rambling about Soviets coming, so does he know something that we don't know that's linked to the end of the world? But they're not a happy marriage. There's not a foundation for love there. I'm sure they both love their child. She definitely loves her child. But I wouldn't be surprised if something were to develop between her and Vanya. I think it is developing there. But at the same time, she is married, even though it's loveless, so it's a very messy situation. But for Vanya to be getting her memories back, I support that wholeheartedly. So, then we have Klaus and Allison. So, Allison. There were repercussions for what happened. I kind of thought there had to be, as much as it was a wonderful moment where she was able to just destroy that man with no effort. Of course, it gets turned around as an excuse to arrest her husband, because racism sucks. And, you know, it was something that really just hit me while I was watching this episode, was obviously things have come from here. We the US, the UK have moved on a lot from the racism of the past, but it's just so soul crushing to think how far we still have to go. You know, the fact that we still have to talk about unfair treatment of people of colour by police and things like that, that they're still happening. It's just heartbreaking, you know. I remember at school, for my GCSE course, I think it was, we did civil rights, or no, it was my AS. We did civil rights of America, and it stopped. Like 1993 was the last thing, and it was still racism happening, but that was where the course stopped. And it's like, civil rights in America needs to, and everywhere, but especially in America, needs to keep going forever at this rate, unfortunately. I can only pray that when my kids are watching shows like this set nowadays, that they can't believe how backwards it was. That's all I can pray. But with the state of the world, who knows? And I think that Allison, as much as she comes from a time in which there are still racial injustices, I love that she's fighting the fight back in time, rather than thinking, oh, it gets a bit better, that she's still kind of trying to do it, but that her instinct is still to fight back, and to when those cops burst into your home, being unjust, to get that back, get it ready, to use her powers on them, to make it stop. And it's heartbreaking to kind of have to see her come to the conclusion of just how messed up it all is. Now, what I love is that she now knows some stuff about Klaus. Klaus, who did get arrested for stealing that car, was in jail, met one of his disciples. We know now that he started a sort of commune in Dallas, and then he went to San Francisco. I wonder why he went to San Francisco. And clearly he's over the whole cult thing of being worshipped and viewed as a god. It's just too much effort for him. I do wonder if partly the lies got to him a bit, I don't know, but that is just fact. I loved seeing more of that. And then him having that moment of connection with Allison's husband, that Allison now knows that Klaus is here, nearby somewhere. He has those on his hands. He's the prophet. Hopefully she will be able to track down where he lives, and they can become at least two, they can be together, because I want everyone, you know, these people, like, we kind of now almost have like Luther and Vanya, Klaus and Allison and them, and Five and Diego, kind of the siblings have someone around them at the moment in the plot, and I need that for them because I want them all to get together. But that is so promising for her, in the sense that the first sign of one of her siblings she's had, and it's so funny to think that they all came to that one point, the same place in Dallas. It wasn't like they got dropped, you know, throughout all of history, all around the world. They were in the same street, years and months apart. But how hard it is to find anyone in a city, is how easy it is to get lost in a city. And I'm just really enjoying watching them all reconnect with each other. Allison's story is inspiring and heartbreaking, and her husband, Ray, I believe is his name, I may be wrong, he just seems like such a wonderful guy, and I'm stressed because the show, you know, we had so many will they won't they, all kind of seeing the strength of Luther and Allison's bond, and for Allison to be in love with someone else and married, it makes me stressed that he's not going to survive, because they're going to want to do the full run of the Luther and Allison story, and I like both couples, but maybe we can replicate Allison, I don't know. And for Klaus kind of, I feel like has had the weakest plotline this episode, both these episodes, partly because we know the least about it, but we saw a little bit more of it this episode, and I still do want to learn more about what he's been up to, but I'm intrigued as to whether or not his prophet stuff is going to have anything to do with the wider plot in the end of the world, or whether it's just kind of a funny gimmick of, well, how else was Klaus going to survive? I don't know, but I am intrigued by it, and I'm so excited if in the next episode he were to get to team up with Allison. Really, really, really would love to see that, especially if he has ties to people that could help her husband and things like that. But no, this has been a fantastic opening to season 2. I've loved these first 2 episodes, even though I'm so mad about how they ended it with Diego. He will be fine, or I will fight. And the handler getting demoted is everything. I hope we never see her again, though I doubt it will be that. I feel like, especially if things go wrong in the commission, I imagine the commission are going to fail again this season. Maybe she'll be able to take over the Fish's role, like, you know, kick him out of town, and be back in charge for season 3, but I also hate her, and I would like her to go away now. But no, this is a fantastic show. Reminder, you can find the unedited version of my reactions on my Patreon, and you can get the edited version as well. Unedited is 2 weeks in advance, edited is 1 week in advance, and thank you so much for watching.